Following is a Live the Dream Media production.
Here we are. Happy Wednesday, post-election day. Short night for a few of us, right, Mr. Samarano?
Yes. Yes, a little tired. My voice is a little shot from running my mouth too much all over the place. But yes, I am here. I'm a little tired. I got my coffee, though. You got your coffee, my friend?
Yep. On my third, fourth cup.
You got it? Yeah, so we're good. So cheers to everybody this morning who is drinking a nice cup of coffee, wherever it may be. You know, this is from our local Keurig here. What you got over there, man?
That's funny.
Yeah, local Keurig, baby. So, Clint,
it was. Go ahead. Yeah,
tell us about last night.
Yeah, it was a long one. We're still waiting. We'll catch you probably about Labor Day on some of these finals.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my.
I'm going to start right there.
Oh my. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the reality. Okay, folks. So let's talk perspective here. Last time we were helping with some political campaigns. We say helping. We help them with some advertising.
2 years
ways
ago.
to amplify,
2
right?
years ago.
I have the current count of votes here on the screen. They weren't done for 5 days in Pima County. And we've seen states complete their whole election everywhere, municipalities, all that.
In 5 hours. Yeah.
2 to 5 hours after the election is done. Okay? And our intern, Anupam, he shared with us from in India, their whole country will have the results for their election 2 hours post the election.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on here. Look, I'm not trying to stir up any conspiracies by any means whatsoever. But what I am saying is there might be an issue with counting.
We got to do a better job.
We got to do a better job. So, something to work on. I don't know. So right now in the local race here in Marana, you have Patrick Cavanaugh leading, and then you have Roxanne Ziegler close behind, and then you have Melissa Zuppi close behind. Mm-hmm. But the numbers you're seeing here, these are nothing close to what the numbers are going to be. So when we wouldn't say this one's called yet. We do have our leader in the order it's in right now, but we have a long way to go. And of course, Ed Ahoney just went undefeated. No one even came close to him because there was nobody else to run against him. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share with you the election timeframes here that were kind of some clowns. And we need to fix this. It's kind of ridiculous that I can't come in here the next day after the election, share information with folks on local stuff because we can't count.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep. Yeah, we got to do a better job. Hey, shout out to all the winners. We know quite a few of them. We did suffer a couple of losses last night. But
we didn't suffer anything. None of us ran for anything.
No, we didn't any. I feel bad for. I'm not going to get into names, personalities, but man, there were some people put their heart and soul into what they were doing, and they came up short. So. But democracy works pretty well, doesn't it? We just can't count very well.
Yeah, no, it's great to wake up, on election day. A lot of people are doing the mail-in ballots, but to wake up and go, I went to the local poll here, and everybody was in a good mood. Mm-hmm. Everybody was happy. Everybody wanted to be there. People were wanting to vote. The thing that was kind of frustrating is there wasn't a lot of voters there.
That's where I'm going to go.
There was a lot more poll workers than there were voters.
That's where
so it could have changed. I went in the morning, right? I went around like 8:00, but it could have changed, as the afternoons went on. And there's been some talk that people go to the polls and they stay open a little later to accommodate those that show up, and that might be why the election takes 5 days to count. But I don't know. But anyways, I just want to say, people, you guys still got to get more involved. Like these numbers, 20% of the population that can vote showing up to the polls. Like y'all want to talk about democracy and how important things are, and you want to share stuff on social media all the time. But the numbers on social media and the posts that come out, and you see all the accounts putting things out, it doesn't really translate to the voting that's going on. So I don't know if that's a conspiracy as well, or we're just lazy.
Yeah. That's kind of my take. Not that we're lazy, but we just got to be more active. 20%, 25%, even in primaries, and a lot of these of these races, there was very little or no competition, but a lot of them were. They were important. These are races that are both local, state, and federal elections, and we got to be more active. And that's going to be part of our new rallying cry over here at Live the Dream Media. Is we want people need to be more active. You know what, guys? I know I can speak for you, David. We worked on several campaigns directly when we were indirectly involved with a lot of other campaigns. It's fun. It's hard work, but it's a lot of fun to be involved in the process. And hats off to all the people that got up. Matter of fact, throughout the month, because I think we started voting early. Was it the 3rd? In some cases, maybe I could be wrong about that. But so there was a bunch of poll workers that spent a whole month at the polls. And I went on Thursday. My wife did the mail-in, but I took it, saved the postage. I took it because I was going. My experience was awesome. The poll workers were all. There was fun. There was and it wasn't overwhelming, but it was a good experience. And I'm just challenging people to be more proactive. I'm going to have to go back and do this before we do another segment about this, but I just think we were more engaged when back in the day. I could be way off. Anybody knows the numbers from say 20 years ago or 30 years ago, feel free to chime in, but being part of the process to me, and I'll go one step further. The people you and I have met, David, over the last 2 campaigns, we've developed some really cool friendships and relationships with those people. Fair enough?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's the key thing with everything is relationships. Mm-hmm. And, it's some of the people that are running and didn't make it, they've already advised they're going to run again. And it does take name recognition. It takes time to build your brand, right? So I mean, coming in, it's hard to beat incumbents and stuff. So it's people that have backing of huge unions. I mean, the unions really do control a lot of stuff still. We just saw that, and we also saw that for the most part, people in Pima County are happy with the way things are. Mm. Hey, Clint, before we go any further, how about we show the traffic and weather
Talk to me.
For the day?
Hey, let me do the weather real quick, David.
Well, you know what?
No, real quick.
All right.
It's going to be hot till October.
Okay, that is not what we do here, sir. That is not
hot till October. We're about almost halfway through summer.
Bearer of bad news, man. Where's your spirit in the game here? Okay, because here's the deal. There is a chance of rain today. A significant chance of rain, a 50% chance of rain. And it's going to be 100 degrees, so we're still in the triple digits. And then as we progress through the week, we're going to get up to a nice and spicy 106 by the weekend for you. So if you have any plans to be outside this weekend,
do it early. Do it real early, like before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, make a move on that. And then, of course, I have the traffic on the screen here. How cool is this? Look, I figured out how to do this. Finally, with the new software.
Look at that.
Yeah, isn't that pretty awesome? So you guys can see the traffic in real time with us. Nothing going on in Marana, thankfully. You have some slowings, but if you go up towards the World Valley area, you've got a crash at La Cañada and Chapala Court. Unknown injuries there, but it is a traffic incident involving property. And there's another one at the State Route 77 near Ina Road. This is just the traffic signals flashing over there. So the light is not working correctly over there. So if you're heading up that way, get ready to run that old school 4-way stop.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That's a great conversation thing right there. Is like how many people know about how to get through a 4-way stop?
Yeah.
If you think you know how to get through a 4-way stop, please, by all means, chime in, share it in the comments. You're more than welcome to. I see there's a lot of people here on the Instagram going in here. Yeah, if you think you know how to get through the 4-way stop, please share with us.
Yeah.
What's the order? That's the trick question of the day.
What's the order? Hey, so real quick, we do have a guest joining us in studio here in about 15 minutes. Wheezy from the food bank will be in here. We're going to be talking all things food and some of the cool things she's involved in. And again, a quick shout out to some people that we saw over the weekend involving the food bank. And I see that Marana Food Bank has joined us on the Instagram feed. Shout out to LaSalle and Sophia and Veronica and all the wonderful people in at Marana Food Bank. Mayor Tom Murphy from Sahuarita and Mayor Ed Honey, who, by the way, happy birthday today. Ed Honey, today is his birthday. They were instrumental in making the new food bank a reality. And we are scheduling, I don't know if Carlos is listening, but Carlos, yes, on the 21st, we've got you on the schedule. Carlos will be joining us in studio with Louiselle and some of the great people from Marana Food Bank. But shout out to Mayor Tom from Sahuarita, and shout out to Mayor Ed for making that a reality. We're now in eighth month of operation with the new Marana Food Bank. So, and again, the new truck is there with the graphics, with the logos on it. We're working on getting those good folks out there a forklift, so everybody doesn't have to work so hard moving that stuff on and off the trucks. So, real quick shout out to the Marana Food Bank, and I see you guys watching this. So thanks for being a huge component in our community, taking care of the less fortunate. And by the way, if you got some money or time and you want to donate it either or to the Marana Food Bank, just reach out to them. If you need information on how to reach those folks, you're more than welcome to contact local Marana or Live the Dream Media, and we'll get you in touch with them.
Yeah, I just told everybody "goo morning." I didn't put the D at the end of there. So everybody, I just told "goo morning."
Good. Well,
I just want to let you know.
More
good
Australian.
morning.
Good morning, mate.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's roasting me on that. But if you want to roast me this morning on the chat, feel free.
Yeah.
I feel like getting roasted today, so you're welcome to. Or if you want to roast Clint, he told me he's down to get roasted too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why change now, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah. So no. Good morning, everybody. Usually we do some giveaways on the
Do we
episodes.
have anything?
Not yet. We are working on some stuff with a couple local restaurants here. We're gonna grab some things next couple weeks. So, but I don't want to spoil that. One of them's really big.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little longer to get the bigger ones.
Trip to Tahiti, right?
But if you want to win a in-person live high five, I got you. Hey, someone wrote a comment here, says the right of way, at least that's how I've always handled four-way stops. That comes from Flying Diamond Corrals. So what do you think on that, Clint? The right of way, at least that's how I've always handled four-way stops.
Well, they're still here to tell us about it, so I guess it's worked for them. Right?
This is true. So I'm going to say that's a great response there and give you an applause. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
No, as far as the right of way, now that's where people get confused, I think. Because the question we have to ask now is, what is the right of way? Is it the person that gets there first? Or what if you guys both get there?
Yeah.
What if you're facing each other?
Yeah.
And you both get there at the exact same time. So here's what I do when that's happening. If I get there around the same time as somebody else, I start creeping like I don't come to a full stop, so it looks like I'm so incompetent that I can't stop. So then they go, well, I was here first for sure because I fully stopped.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't always work. I always get the wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of waving that happens with strangers during the
hit
four-way
this four-way
stops.
up here on O Father quite a bit because of the way I come in. And I'll do the wave.
You do the wave. Just come on.
Come on.
Do you flash your lights ever? Like, hey,
no.
That doesn't seem to work very well. I don't know why.
No, I don't do the light.
My lights might not be that bright. I drive a small
and I try.
car.
I drive for the record. I'm doing God's work, so I do drive fast when I'm driving. But I'm not going to tailgate you, and I'm not going to abuse you at a four-way stop. I'll make it up on the straight.
I do want to encourage anybody listening, if you want to call in, you are welcome to call in and chat with us. We can put you here into the program and, chat it up. Tell us how you feel about the local elections, how you feel about things going on, how you feel about this program. You can let us know if we suck or if we're all right. There's always something you can jump in with us on.
Well, today we're jet lagged, David. There's no doubt about it because we didn't roll out of here till this morning. And I was up at like 4:00 in the morning checking the results to see if anybody and they hadn't. I guess everybody that counts goes to bed, and that's okay.
They didn't. Yeah. So I saw the last update was like 12:54.
Right.
So.
Right, I was up around that time, and then I was responding to some emails of those that were victorious and some that were not as victorious. So at 4:30 this morning, I was cheering for some and patting a few on the back.
Yeah. So I'm looking at our security camera, and there appears to be a group of unhoused folks in the parking lot. So if you're on the Marana Police Department and you are watching, please feel free to go check on these folks and make sure that they're doing okay. It's really, really hot outside. So if you guys don't get there before we do, I'll go out there and check on them. But they might need some water. Anyways, there's nobody there. What's going on? There you are. Found you.
What on the outside?
Yeah, it's on the outside. They're over by the. Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the program here. So we cover traffic. It's going to be hot. The local elections. Let's see what's going on with that. I'm going to refresh here and see if they have counted any moss. And I'll bring this up for you.
Where you at, David?
Here we go.
I see me all over the place.
Yeah, you're
but
here.
where's
So I'm
David
bringing the votes for you.
I can't see that.
So I refreshed.
They're way across the room.
You need some glasses, sir.
Yeah. Well,
Just kidding. You need more than that.
I need X-ray vision to read those. I might.
Here you go. Can you read that? Yeah. So no update.
Help me out.
Yeah, no update on the numbers still. Surprise, surprise.
Our good friend Mary Murphy appears to be in pretty good shape in Oro Valley, and Mo Green. They appear to be they're running 2-3 and with 3 seats open in Oro Valley. So that's really cool. That's a first time candidate. I will say this also about the candidates since we're in the election mode. Man, that's some tough sledding if you're going to throw your hat in the ring. I guess we should expect that, but it is tough. The stuff that you have to put up with as a candidate for some of these nonpartisan positions, even that, like, wow, you better be prepared to withstand a whole bunch of people that are really just kind of mean and nasty in many cases. And I'm thinking about the one lady, I won't call her name, obviously, but just mean, setting and sniping and just like no coherency to any of the stuff that she has attacked candidates on. So
yeah, that's a thing too. I think a lot of people don't want to run because you get that kind of behavior. There was articles, that were or editorials that were published that were just not true, and things were being said, and it's like. And then there was even websites made. So you're like, well, who's funding? You know what I mean? Because the political campaigns, they have money and they can kind of do whatever they need to do. And you always for the most part, I would say a lot of the elections here were pretty clean. Not so crazy.
Among the candidates, and I'm again not going to get into it. I know of 2 candidates that were kind of calling each other out.
Yeah,
but candidate to candidate, I didn't see anything too harsh. It was the lone sniper in the bushes that were asking some pretty ridiculous things. On to some more happy news though, because a lot of this is kind of a downer stuff. But Marana and the Northwest Pima County is just booming. People are moving here in record numbers, and it's cool to be a part of this environment. Would you not agree, David? The Marana, the Oro Valley, the Northwest Pima County coalition, for the lack of a better word, is pretty cool right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of cool stuff coming. I'm not going to share. But there's a lot of really cool stuff coming to the town of Marana, specifically, especially the downtown corridor. I think we're going to see some really cool stuff. Not only the community center, but all I can say is just wait. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be on the map.
We'll let them announce it first on Local Marana, Live the Dream. But, we've seen some plans that look pretty cool. And go ahead.
There's some sports stuff coming too that people are going to be mind blown. So, but we won't get into that yet. Yeah. We'll wait for that.
One thing we can get into though is high school football starts.
Yes.
In just a couple of weeks, we actually have a new intern that we're going to introduce you to next week. That's going to do a lot of stuff covering it. We're excited about that. There's some really good programs, especially up here in our neck of the woods, and we're pretty excited about what some of these teams are going to be able to. And you know what? Again, that's that small town mentality, Friday Night Lights that I grew up in, and we've got that right here, and that's exciting to see the community rally around their football teams.
Yeah, well, you've got some premier programs here in this area. You know, you have the CDO. You know, they're continuously in the running for state championships. You know, Ironwood, Mountain View, and then Marana. Marana is a
an up and coming.
It's a premier program.
Yeah,
I think it's really coming. I think Coach Stewart, this is a good shot for him this year to compete in that 5A state title game. Because if I'm wrong, they can correct me, but I believe Marana will be going 6A within the next 2-3 years. So you're playing at a level right now that's competitive, but you're going to be going into the 6A realm with your Chandlers and Chandler Hamiltons and stuff like that. For perspective, Chandler Hamilton and Chandler, they've had games on ESPN. So just to share with you.
And this is a shout out too. We've had Coach Stewart on 2 or 3 times. And he's going to be coming back this fall. Breaking news, he's going to be doing a coach's corner. But we're throwing the invite out to all area football coaches, our athletic directors and personnel team. We're gonna be coming at you this fall, so get ready to be a part of what we're doing over here at Local Marana. We'd love to have you in the booth, and then if not in here, we'll have you. We'll beam you in through technology. I hear we're getting a little bumper.
Yeah, we got our guest is here, so
Beautiful.
We're going to go to ad and
Come
get her in
on.
here. Okay?
We'll see you right on the other side of these ads with Wheezy.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with a tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
Have you ever thought that maybe you would make a good podcast host? We are currently recruiting talented folks to expand our broadcasting ability with a variety of different shows. If you think you have the talent, shoot us an email at contact@ltdmedia.net for more information.
Okay, we are back. A little readjustment in here. We've got a special guest with us this morning. I met Wheezy back in February, I believe, at the grand open house at the Marana Food Bank. So introduce yourself, Wheezy.
Well, I'm Wheezy Bryson. I work for the Sahuarita Food Bank, partner of Marana Food Bank. And I'm a program manager focusing on culinary programs.
Beautiful. Yeah, she was passing out some good stuff out there that day. I went through the buffet line, for full disclosure, a couple of times.
That's why he looks so familiar.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us about some of your programs that you're currently working on with the food bank.
All right, yeah. So we have a lot going on. Some of the culinary programs we have is we have kids cooking classes. So right now we're running a session of, it's called Cook and Code. So kids come in for an hour and a half into the kitchen, and then they do an hour and a half in our robots lab. So they do Lego robotics, other kind of robotics, coding, and 3D printing. So that's one of our summer programs.
How many kids you got in that program right now, would you say? Just ballpark.
We have about 8 in the program.
Okay.
It's limited more by kitchen space
Right.
than by the robotic space. So,
Okay.
yeah, we can only fit so much in our
Okay.
kitchen. And then we have other programs, one called Make and Take. So that's a program where the community can come in. Anybody could come in. You pay $10, and we make a meal together. We have a lot of fun. We laugh. We learn some new skills. And then they get to take a meal home with them.
Good.
Last month, we made bagels together, and that was a lot of fun.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then we have, let's see, what other programs? We have, my mind went blank.
Now those are in Saurita right now, but you're bringing those to the Marana Food Bank as well, correct?
We are hoping to, yeah. We don't have a kitchen in Marana yet, so the kitchen programs are not viable at this moment, but we are working on it. We also have diabetes education classes. So we do kind of a cooking class for diabetes. We have nutrition classes. We have a whole bunch of different classes for cooking.
I do know where we have a kitchen that you can get access to.
Wink, wink.
Right, wink, wink.
That would be great. Yeah.
And one other thing, Edgar Soto, who is he's the vice president or vice chancellor at Pima Community College. I just saw him here last night. He has, according to him, the most elaborate commercial kitchen in Pima County, and he has spoke with Carlos about that. So now we need to put a little bit of juice behind that and get that to happen, because from what I understand, I have not seen it, but from other people I've spoke to, it is really like state-of-the-art kitchen. So that'd be right up your wheelhouse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
and it's central part of Pima County, by the way. It would be able to spread out. So
yeah, well, we're hoping to get a mobile lab too, so we could bring our programs out to the mobile communities. We already have a mobile lab. It's not kitchen equipped, but we do
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, humongous trailer that we bring out to rural communities. We teach English classes. We teach GED classes. We teach a lot of classes. But we're hoping to get a kitchen class up and running.
That'd be
soon.
very cool.
Yeah,
that'd be very cool. I'll help you with that if you need some help, because we can streamline some of this stuff with the health department too.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, yeah. It's always good to have a good relationship with the health department.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way. You offer a catering program.
We do. That is also one of our programs. So I do catering out of our commercial kitchen in Sarita, and we mostly work with partners, so other nonprofits. The town of Sarita is one of our biggest customers. All of their meetings, they come to us for catering, and anybody from the community can order catering. And the great thing about it is you're getting a good meal, but you're also supporting the community, because all of those funds go straight back into the food bank. And I've been doing this new thing called Chef's Choice, where I don't have a menu, and I use what we have available to us, so I can keep the costs down for us, which brings more money into the food bank, and it also keeps the cost down for the clients.
Right.
So I'll make a delicious meal. You might not know what you're getting ahead of time, but it'll be tasty.
That's very cool, because when you're catering, do you use the supplies that you have available to you?
Yeah.
Or you go out and get new stuff to bring in. How does that work when you're catering?
It's kind of a mix of both. So we purchase a lot of food, and I can use some of that for catering. And then also sometimes there are just things that I'll need from the grocery store.
That's a very cool idea.
Yeah, we also have raised garden beds and tower gardens that we use the produce from. So
that is very cool, because I'm guessing it would be more affordable or less expensive to cater through the Saurita Food Bank than, I'm not I don't want you competing with other vendors per se, but especially if you're working on a budget or you're working with another non-for-profit, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a way for the food bank to generate some funds.
Yep.
Way for you to be creative. Maybe have some help from some people in the organization, and the end user gets a great meal at a possibly reduced price. Is that fair enough to analogy?
It's a win-win-win situation. Everybody wins, in my opinion, unless you don't like the food, which we could take it up later. But so it's a great way to connect with the community in a different way too.
Yeah.
I love one of my passions is trying to destigmatize the food bank and have everybody feel welcome there, whether you need assistance or you're just coming for a tour, or so many people in our community don't know the extent of our food bank and what all we do there. And we're not just a food bank. We have so many things going on.
And you know what? When we talk about it, and I'm negligent, I haven't used the full title this morning, but I know it's the same with Sahuarita, but it's the Marana Food Bank and Resource Center. Mm-hmm. We do a pretty good job on the food stuff right now because food is primary in what we do, and we're going to do a better job on the resource stuff. But like this past winter / early spring, a lot of tax assistance, like you mentioned, diabetes things, a lot of other things that we offer. And when I say we, I'm a part of this one, of course, and you're a part of it. We're all a part of them together, but it's way more than just handing someone a box of food. There's other resources available.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our end goal is for people not to have to come into the food bank for assistance. And we are there for assistance, and we love doing that. And the fact is some people will be perpetual clients of the food bank, and that's totally okay. But if people want to get out of that system, we're there to help as well. So we have a lot of workforce development and things like that to get people.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. A lot of training. I know we're working with some people to do welding, which is huge. You know, that's a trade that is in great demand right now. Phlebotomy and different things like that. And you know, it's noble to say stamp out hunger, but that's not even a reality.
No.
Even if everybody in the program now moved on and went into a life that they could, sustain themselves, there's someone right behind them as we continue. It's just historical.
It is, yeah, and especially with food prices, how they are right now, it's like it's undeniable. It's going to happen. The need will always be there for the food bank, but just trying to work with people to try to,
Yeah. We do try to put ourselves out of business, though.
We do, and I would love to be out of business.
Yeah. And we'd go into full-time catering in another environment, right? But,
exactly. But
it's just, when I hear people, I'm like, that's so noble, and I appreciate you feeling that way. But it's historical. It's undeniable. We're going to be there. But there should be dignity in the process.
Absolutely.
And that's the cool thing I like about what you guys have brought to Marana. And when I say you guys, I mean the Sahuarita theme and people that you've shared with us. And we're so grateful for Carlos and Sophia and Lucille and all that. We are very, very grateful. Because honestly, the community of Marana didn't miss a beat.
Oh,
I mean, it was seamless.
It was an easy transition for us too, because you were already doing such great work in Marana. So it was pretty.
It was really cool to watch, to be on kind of the inside or on the sideline watching that all play out, because there was some apprehension early on when we realized that the food bank that was here was going to basically move on, and there was a lot of apprehension in October. Like, what are we going to do? And Ed reached out to Tom. I'm talking about Mayor Ed, whose birthday is today. I'm going to shout him out again. And he reached out to Tom Murphy, mayor of Sahuarita, and it was seamless. Within 60 days or less, the transition it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been so easy if Marana wasn't already doing such good work and
had the facility.
Yeah.
But that was on Sahuarita for facilitating, and Carlos. I'm going to give a big shout out, and Lucille. They were, and Sophia. I don't want to leave anybody out, but they made that transition so seamless. And I can remember the first meeting with Terry, Rosema, and Ed, and Patty, and Carlos, and Penny, and Jackie, and it was just, it was almost like unspoken, because we were looking for the solution, and the solution was sitting at the table with us. And I think it was Terry said, "Hey, well, you just can you bring what you're doing there here? And they're like, I don't think they even thought about it. I think they were coming. I'm sure they didn't. I think they thought they were just coming to provide, and I think we thought that too. Like answer some questions for us and give us an idea, and within 20 minutes, we were just let's just go.
Yeah, it was shocking for all of us when I heard the news. But honestly, we're just happy to bring food to people.
Yeah,
And,
that's because that's the bottom line.
Yep.
We're not. I've heard Carlos say that numerous times. Is we're not competing to help people. We just want to be another source that people can and resource that people can use.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we do hope to bring all of our programs to Marana, and we are looking very soon to bring our diabetes education and cooking for diabetes class to Marana. I know it's been a huge need down in Sarita. I'm sure it is up here too. But yeah, I've heard a lot of feedback from people in our class that say, "Oh, we got diagnosed with diabetes," and they just said the doctor said, "Okay, good luck." Yeah,
my dad, rest his soul, was a diabetic, and so anything that's diabetic related, diabetes related, I'm completely into it. I've got in my notes here to ask you about the Saguaro Skills Center.
Oh,
and what your role is in that.
Okay. Yeah, so the Saguaro Skills Center, we're actually a certified post-secondary institution. So we have our welding class, which you mentioned. Mm-hmm. So the folks that come in, this is our first cohort. We decided to keep it small for our first kind of pilot session. So we have 4 students, and it's a 400-hour certificate. They get certified in welding. It's 300 hours of that is augmented reality. So we have Oculus headsets, and they have it feels like real live welding. Right. So you get the sounds, you get the feel of it. They have the blank pieces of welding that they could work on, and it gives you feedback as you're doing it. Everybody can watch on the screen what the person is doing. It's really cool. And then 100 hours of live welding. So our students are loving it.
So 400 hours. So that would be, is it 10 weeks? Are we doing 40 hours? Or are we spreading it out a little more than that?
It's we only do I think it's 4 hours 3 times a week. So
okay,
it's
say 12. So it's a several weeks.
Yes.
More than 10.
Yeah.
You know, I know this for a fact that welding, electricians, and construction are in incredible demand, not only in Pima County, but my son-in-law and daughter are leaving next week to go to Boise. They're moving to Boise. They got an incredible job offer. Like, he was a apprentice for 4 years with a program. He got an insane job offer to go. I would have preferred they stay here. But the cool thing about what you're talking about with this welding is, man, they can come right out of this program, hire 400 hours, and they can hire into some pretty good paying jobs, like right out of the gate.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the way we got this program is Freeport McMurrin gave us a grant to have this program because they need welders.
Yes.
And so they're trying everything they can.
I love it.
So there's so many mine sites who need on-site welders that they could get a job right away.
Okay, and here's a real quick shout out to our viewing audience. If you're welding, if you do welding, if you're in contracting, if you're in electronics, electricians, hey, we could start more programs, right?
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yes.
Do some research what you need the most. And reach out to Weezy at Saurita or Carlos or here at Marana Food Bank and Resource Center. We'll train your people up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we love doing that. And, the great part is that it builds relationships with the community. And so contact us. And it's not always a Band-Aid fix. A lot of companies want, need somebody right now. Yeah. And it's kind of an investment in your future. It's not going to maybe affect your business right away, but in the future, it will.
That's a topic that we talk about here a lot, again, with Edgar Soto. We've spent a lot of time with him recently, and that is for us to be attracting, and I mean us, Pima County, southeastern Arizona as a whole, we've got to have trained personnel for these large companies to consider coming here.
Oh, yeah.
And the Salrita and Marana Food Bank and Resource Center loves to be part of that conduit, part of that training program to provide for people, because we want people having good paying jobs, so they can maybe go off the system a little bit and start sustaining. Because you know what, there's dignity in taking care of yourself.
Absolutely,
and that's really what we're aiming for. Fair enough.
Totally, yeah. So my role in Saguaro Skill Center is we're actually going to try to launch a full culinary program, much like
that's huge,
the welding program.
Yeah.
So you'll get a full-blown culinary certificate, the training you need. We have a lot of ideas in the works to help with apprenticeship and entrepreneurship. So,
well, you're
really
right in my
exciting.
wheelhouse, Weezy. All those things are just we need more entrepreneurs. You know, I was just telling David yesterday at lunch that 73% of Americans want to work for themselves, want to be entrepreneurs, but only 6% do.
The reality is it's hard work.
You know what he said?
You
It's
ain't
hard
lying.
work.
Yeah.
Now, what can we, and this is an open-ended question, but what your role, what our role is, we need to help make that a little bit easier.
Oh, yeah.
Help bridge the gap for people, help take some of the problems out that exist in the system, right? And train them. It's not, having a little training doesn't hurt either.
That's right. But yeah, giving people the tools and resources, like we plan, and this is far in the future, but we hope to have a food truck that entrepreneurs can rent out so they can see if they even like it before they.
Hey, when you get ready to do that, because we have actually tried that with because we're a catering company, is food, cookies and cinnamon rolls and catering. Fresh catering is part of Copper Creek Cookies. And I would love to have a truck. They could run under my banner because they don't have to worry about the health department or health codes. I'll buy the truck. I need somebody willing to work.
Right.
You know, but I've tried to do that with no success, by the way, because I don't know why. I mean, the opportunity is golden. If I was 20 years, 30 years younger, and somebody made me that offer, I'd like,
sign me up.
Where's the keys?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we're hoping that to get people through the pipeline from the culinary program straight into
let's stay in
entrepreneurship.
let's stay in touch on that, because
Please.
I would love to be involved in that.
And I'd love to pick your brain about it.
Yeah. And you know, as you talk, I know we've introduced Carlos to Edgar, but I want to introduce you to Edgar, because I can just, in my mind as we're sitting here, that resource that he has available at Pima College has to play into what you're doing.
Okay, let's get together.
Come on. So I got one more question for you.
Go for it.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
Oh boy, I've been really enjoying the process of making bread. It centers me. It's magical. Like, I know it's science, but it seems magical how you could put like 3 ingredients together and make a beautiful loaf of bread. It makes me happy.
You know what? I actually like that answer a lot. Because we make, actually, our cinnamon rolls is made with an old family bread dough recipe. And really, there are really only like 4 ingredients in that thing.
It's magical.
And yeast, I'm kind of a yeast geek, you know, that this thing is alive and grows and nurtures. I'm going to share something with you offline. I'm not going to do it online while we're talking, but we found a special, secret, magical, scientific thing that's like this old Chinese thing.
Tang tong?
Yeah. But it comes in a bag.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear this.
I'm going to share it with you. My wife and son were watching TV one day. They're like, hey, check this. It was a game changer in our bread products. Cookies and stuff, it didn't change anything. But the bread, I knew immediately, because I make most of that stuff myself.
Oh, wow.
And I could just feel it. And it just a little, what'd you call it? Because that's what it is.
I think it's a tang zong or something.
Yeah. And it's like this Chinese thing that's like
cooked flour.
Hundreds at a specific temperature. And it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
I mean, it's a major pain. You got to 172, you got to maintain 172, and you got to stir, and you can see it's doing something. What do you got, David?
Okay, I just wanted to share. I think she's pretty close. It's the Tang Zong method is a distinct approach to bread making that is sometimes referred to as water rao in the Western world. This technique involves cooking a mixture of flour and water until it thickens and becomes like a paste.
Yep.
The paste or rao is then added to the bread dough.
Roux.
Roux. Okay, roux. My bad.
Hey, well, hey, you got all the details and you pronounced the word properly.
It's like the starts of a cheese sauce.
And remember when we were, or at least in my case, when we were kids, we'd make paper mache out of old newspapers and stuff, and you'd run it through that thing your mom or the teachers or whoever brought. That's what it kind of looks like. I don't think they paid that specific attention to the temperature.
Right.
And I can just when we first started doing it 5-6 years ago, I'm like this, but we actually found it in a bag.
Well, I'm excited.
Well, I'm not
to hear
giving
about
away the secret, but I'll share it with you off camera.
Okay.
So wow, thanks so much for being here. Did you have fun?
Me. I did. I had a great time.
What do you got to offer to us at the end? What do you just fill up the next couple of minutes? Tell us a little about you, your background, whatever you want us to know about you or what you do.
Oh, well, I'm passionate about food and cooking and feeding people. It's just what I love doing. I've been doing it since, I think I've been cooking dinner for my family since I was 12 and just always worked in the restaurant industry. Went to culinary school, ran a restaurant for a little bit, did some catering on the side, and then got married, had kids, and the restaurant industry is not conducive for family life. No. So I kind of took odd jobs. I was a school bus driver for a while.
I did that once.
That was
that's another common. We like making bread, and we both drove a school bus at one time.
Man, was that not the toughest job you've ever had? The toughest job I've ever had.
That was tough.
I remember doing the training and the CDL training. I was like, I got this. This is so easy. And then they put me on a bus with kids, and I was like,
hey. And I had the CDL. I used to I'd pull this building to figure out how to put it on my trailer. Driving a school bus was 10 times tougher because of the cargo. And I hate to refer to children as cargo, but that's what it was. We got precious living human beings, and there's no seatbelts on a bus, people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in Montana. We did have seatbelts on our buses. But wintertime, they never canceled school.
No.
So I was driving in 2 feet of snow sometimes.
Yeah, that was. I didn't do that very long.
Yeah.
That was too. It was just. Give me a building to move.
Yeah.
I thought, this is going to be great. Look, because I love kids. This is going to be great. They're going to walk on. They're going to walk off. No.
No, it was not. It was not easy. No, but that led me to working in an office, and then I felt like my soul was dying a little bit in an office, and I started volunteering at a nonprofit in Montana. It was a restaurant. A nonprofit restaurant where anybody could come in, get a meal. You could pay if you want. You could not pay. We didn't discriminate against anybody. So I started volunteering there, and that led to a full-time position. And then we moved down to Sarita 2 years ago. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great story. David, you got any questions for Miss Weezy? He thought we were bringing the rap star in.
I do not, no. But we do have to move to our next ad set, so we're going to do that.
Thank you, David. Good job.
Are we done? You good?
Yeah, hang around.
There is a lot of digital marketing and digital advertising agencies throughout the U.S. I see a new one pop up every day. But we stand out because of our community impact, our client relationships, delivering and doing what we say. That's a key thing. Right? A lot of places will tell you, hey, we're going to do this. They don't communicate to you. We're in communication with you. You're going to always get that real small business feel from us. You're going to have ways to contact us, ask us questions, right? Because we want you to do better, but we want to be better every day as well. And we're always innovating. We're always coming up with new ideas, new ways to win, applying for new platforms, and even creating some of our own platforms is some of the stuff we have going forward. So I would say that's what sets us apart.
Have you ever thought that maybe you would make a good podcast host? We are currently recruiting talented folks to expand our broadcasting ability with a variety of different shows. If you think you have the talent, shoot us an email at contact@ltdmedia.net for more information.
Okay, well, that was fun. I learned a whole bunch about there was a lot of common bond there too.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to hear about the programs that they have available, especially the welding one. I had no idea. It's really, really cool. Hey, something happened in the comments here during or right before the session. Somebody had said Marana High School needs to be more fair when it comes to players and not showing favoritism. So, I have a coaching history. I did it for 5 years plus. I started at the youth level, flag football. For anywhere from 4-year-olds all the way up into high school level, and I understand this this kind of frustration starts to happen when you get to the high school level. Myself too. When I was in high school, I was a smaller cat, so I really didn't get to go and eat as much on the field, and it was, it had to do with my size, but it also had to do with talent, knowledge of the game, and there's also a safety aspect that comes to it too that I think people forget about as well. I wasn't developed at that time prior to be out there. I wanted to, in my head, I thought I had the talent. I felt like I knew the plays like the back of my hand, but you look at this kind of thing and this kind of comment here. And I'm not saying any right or wrong in this at all, because like I said, I want you to understand that I do understand the frustration, and we'll ask Coach Stewart about this when he comes in. Mm-hmm. But once you get to the high school level, this is where those that have put in the extra time, they have talent, they work hard, things like that, that's where you start seeing the separation in play. Mm-hmm. And when you have the separation in play that's there, you're going to see people that are on the field more often, right? Mm-hmm. Because you have to win these games. Mm-hmm. That's what these young men are being taught. This is how to win, right? They're also being taught how to lose, right? If you're on a program that loses often, you're going to see, consistencies in going into why you're losing. Mm-hmm. Right. And, parents are always going to have a different perspective on it. Like there's always going to be that parent that feels and thinks that their child is the next D1 premier player. Mm-hmm. Right. And that comes and it happens. We've seen it. Any program I was a part of, there was that parent. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm not saying that this parent is that. No, this parent might be seeing something we don't know. But, there's one thing you got to really consider is this game at that level, and it goes by W's. Wins are important, right? It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that these young men are playing together. They're winning together. They're losing together. They're going through battles together. Mm-hmm. They're facing adversity. They're learning how to work together. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you're learning that, your role isn't on the field as much, right? You can be leaders in the weight room. You can be leaders at practice. You can be leaders at conditioning. There was players on our team that didn't play much on the field, but they could condition like no other. Mm-hmm. And they knew that. And they used that to motivate other people to condition as hard as them, right? So it's like there's so many different dynamics that go into playing this game and winning, and saying that there's favoritism and stuff like that. I was like, you got to look at all of the different variables that go into this game. Yeah. And any other game, right? You have to put your best players on the field, right? And sometimes people, you can only put 11 people on the field at a time. And some of these programs now are running with 50-plus players. Yeah. That was not the case when I was in high school. If you were on the team back then, you were playing because there wasn't enough people.
50, maybe 50 on per team, and 11 per at one time on the field.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of times your best athlete play both ways.
Yes.
So you might have 50 players on the field or on the team, and there's only 12 to 15 people. Hey, look, I don't know the dynamics of what's going on at any of these football teams. I don't know any of the backroom stuff. But I've coached and been around kids a lot, not football, baseball, throughout my life. Never coached my own kid. I was not comfortable doing that. But I was that person on the side, that parent on the side that was trying to be the voice of reason. And I have never, this is just me, and from even that I've coached or was involved, I wanted to play everybody as best I could because I don't know when I'm going to need somebody. Mm-hmm. I tried to be real careful to make sure everybody was coached up as best they could, especially when I was coaching American Legion baseball. Because again, these are high school. These are young men. Mm-hmm. You know, they're 16 to 19. I didn't know who I was going to need. There was going to be injuries. So the regular season, you tried to win every game, but if you didn't win, you were more playing for the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. I put my best guys out there. There was no favoritism. I don't care who you are. I don't care who your dad is. I don't care who brings the most money in. That's irrelevant to me. I'm trying to train these young men, and like you said, to become leaders both on and off the field. And but again, I can't speak to what's going on at any of the high school programs. I don't know any backroom stuff. But my experience with coaching, especially if your kids aren't even involved, your own children, coaches are there to do what's best for the entire team. That's just my little rant on that.
Right, yeah. No, I just felt like it would be good for us to address that because, you know, if you're going to put that in the chat, you know, and
maybe, hey, I don't know what's going on, David.
You know what? You don't know, but
I know Coach Stu. So,
yeah, it's still, you know, this is something when I was coaching, we dealt with every day.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, there was even times where parents would come in and,
yeah.
You know
what though? Back in my
game,
in my day, and I learned from some really. And again, I'm doing baseball at a pretty high end. It's basically between high school and college at the American Legion. Back where I grew up, it was a big deal. And these guys were old seasoned veterans that I coached with and inherited an incredible program. Mm-hmm. Hey, we love you, parents. Thanks a lot for supporting the program. But what goes on with this team? Once the kids are here between the lines, you don't have a role in that.
Right.
And if you're not uncomfortable with that, then you probably need to find somewhere else for your kid to play.
Yeah. Hey, as far as the elections go, believe it or not, the results still have not been updated. So I do not want to give a shout out to the Pima County for counting votes here at this time. But, you know, they're still the same. They're still, you know, we can't call the local race yet here in Marana because there's not enough.
Maybe in 2 weeks when we're back, we can call it. How about that?
Oh, man.
Because next week we will be running a best of. Because David, Scott, and Sky are going to be on assignment. Mm-hmm. And so next week will not be live. It'll be a best of. We haven't selected that. David will do a great job of doing that. But maybe when we come back in 2 weeks, we can give you the actual final, the test results, if you will, from the election.
Test results. Yeah, man. Anyways, everybody listening today, we want to thank you so much for chiming in and watching and listening with us.
And thanks for getting us through this one. This was a short night, long show. Good morning.
Short staff. Yeah, the whole shebang. But, we prevailed, and we did it with you guys here. We've had a lot of people in our live stream today. It's been really cool.
And you know what's cool is we do appreciate our audience. We love you guys. We really do. Without you, we're just sitting here talking to each other, okay? So we appreciate our audience both in local Marana and Live the Dream Media. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Have a great day.